I am Brett Scott. This is Tom Downey. You're watching the Cowboys Report News and Rumors Roundup Edition. All right, number 13 on our list, and we're going to get a little bit more in depth with these next three here, Tom.
Oh, yeah. They're good ones.
Jaylon Smith. Cowboys are looking at a positional change with him. Tell me more.
Yeah, this came in just before we went on the show, and we kind of altered the show a little bit because this is a very much a big deal here. We're giving this one 3 stars because it does come from Jason Garrett himself. Says that they're excited about him as a player, and says we're going to look at him as a Sam linebacker. That is the strong side linebacker. Plays closer to the defensive line, will often blitz a little bit more important in terms of run defense because he takes on more blockers. This is curious to me, Brett, and I actually don't necessarily disagree with the idea that maybe Smith is best as a Sam linebacker because we know that he's able to blitz a little bit. But we had heard for 2 years now that Jaylon Smith is the middle linebacker of the future. That's what the Cowboys drafted him to be, and now they're moving him to Sam, which in terms of the overall linebackers is definitely the least important. Now he's going to play a lot on the nickel downs. That's what Garrett said, and that's what they want him to do. Which at that point, okay, maybe he's not even really a true Sam linebacker. But then you're asking on the other 40% of downs when you're in your base, 40 to 30%, you do need a new middle linebacker because Hitchens is a free agent. And then if you're going to bring back Hitchens and you're going to pay him as a starting middle linebacker salary, who are you going to sit when you go to 2 linebackers? Is it going to be Hitchens or Smith, or are you going to just rotate them? So this is very curious to me, and I get why he fits as a Sam linebacker on base downs. But if you're just going to throw him back into nickel or into middle linebacker on nickel downs, why wouldn't you just keep him there? You hyped him up as being your middle linebacker of the future. He looked better down the stretch, and now you're going to not have him be your middle linebacker. It's another example of, hey, you know, we spent a pick on this guy and we're going to move him out of position. I know he can play Sam, but I don't know if that's what you want for the best interest of the long-term outlook of it.
Well, from Jason Garrett's comments, and let's look at a couple of these here. He says, quote, "You want to make sure you give him a chance to succeed. The Sam in our defense is an important spot, but there is so much nickel defense being played in the NFL that oftentimes you only have the 2 linebackers out on the field, so you want to give him more than just that role."
It's just confusing to me, Brett. Like, make him a middle linebacker. That's what you want him to be. You put him at Sam, I think you're kind of taking him out of that position. I get that he can play Sam and you're going to keep him in on nickel downs, but my biggest concern is, okay, now you need a new middle linebacker. You can put Damian Wilson at the Sam spot. Now you're making him a backup, and now you have to go get a new middle linebacker. I just think you're unnecessarily creating another need at that linebacker and amplifying that need that you already have there.
So I did see a comment from, I think it was from B. Maddox, about this. With that move, could the Cowboys be looking somewhat differently in the first round of the draft at number 19? Great question.
I think that in general they're going to look for a linebacker early, but if you need to have a middle linebacker playing those downs and it's not going to be Jaylon Smith, Sean Lee, and Damian Wilson, then yeah, you're looking to invest an even higher pick potentially at getting one of those other linebackers, because who else do you have out there? I mean, there's no one else at middle linebacker right now outside of Jaylon Smith, because Hitchens is a free agent. So maybe this means you bring back Hitchens, but then maybe you're not as confident as you are in Jaylon Smith as maybe they've said otherwise. So it's just confusing to me in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are still trying to get Jaylon Smith back to what everybody would describe as 100%. And so maybe this is, again, one of those ideas that in year 2 of Jaylon Smith's recovery, that you might have to do that to continue to protect him a little bit.
Maybe, perhaps.
I mean, of course, we see him fly around the field as well. All right, who should start at middle linebacker for the Cowboys next season? Hard is that Jaylon Smith guy that we're talking about, of course. Like for Anthony Hitchens, go get a draft, give us a ha-ha or a wow face. Free agency, I don't think free agency is going to be the pick, though, Tom.
I just don't think there's going to be enough snaps for a guy to come in and say, yeah, I'll take some cheaper money to be a backup. It's just not how free agency works.